Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Mouse Makes Knitting podcast. My name is Mandy, sometimes known as Mouse, and this is Miss Poppy. Poppy. People want to see your face. She's busy. Apparently she has a very dirty tail. Right then, I've lots of things to show you this week. Sadly, not a great deal of them involve my knitting, and I've begun getting croaky again. I'm going to get a drink. Bear with me. There we go, that's better. Yes, lots of things to show you. Not very much of my own knitting, I'm afraid, but still, we shall persevere. First thing I want to do is show you the prizes for the Mouse's October Make-Along 2022. This is a make-along that's been running since the 1st of September and will run until the 31st of October, British summertime. So, as I record this on the 12th, you've got 2 weeks and 1 day. Is that right? No. Forget that. You've got till the 31st. I'm not doing maths. So I thought I would remind you that of the ways that you can enter. On Instagram, you can use the hashtag MousesOctoberMail 2022 just to share the stuff that you're working on. That is not an entry. If you want to enter, it's every time I do this, ignore me. Mouse's October Mail 2022 FO. You need to put the FO on there to get it into the entry. There is also on Ravelry a thread, again a chatter thread and an FO thread. In order to enter it, it needs to go into the FO thread. If you want to enter but you can't use either of those platforms, then you can email me at mousesmakes@gmail.com and I'll put your entry in for you. You can enter anything that is October, fall, Halloween, autumn flavoured. So the colour, the name of the design, what you're going to use it for, it's pretty loose, to be honest. You can enter pretty much anything. And I've just realised I've forgotten one of the prizes I want to show you. I'll grab that in a second. So I've made some prizes and I've also bought some prizes. I'm going to show you the ones I've bought first because frankly they're crinkly and we're going to get it over and done with. So there is this crinkle, which I thought would make a nice little notions pouch. There is also this crinkly thing. Again, notions pouch. They are both actually marketed as makeup bags, so there's nothing to stop you using them as that, because that's what they're for. But I was thinking notions pouch. Then I've made you some bags. There are 2 of these. I'm picking things up very carefully because I've just painted my nails. And as I've already ruined one by sticking it to my scarf, I thought I'd better be a bit careful. Yep, so there are 2 of these with a press stud. They are extremely wonky bags. I had a bit of a moment the day that I was sewing these. Yeah. Very wonky. But they'll do a turn, as my mother would have said. So there's 2 of those. And then there are 2 of these. These went a little better. That's a bit creasy, that side. Yeah. So there's 2 large bags. They're both pretty much the same. They've got a little wrist strap that I quilted onto the ribbon hoping you can see that. The light's not super duper today, as usual. They're zipped, and they've got a beautifully coloured lining. I absolutely love the lining. I picked fabrics that, sorry about that noise, I've picked fabrics that seemed a bit autumny. So again, there's 2 of those, and with these I had quite a bit of fun actually, because I've quilted, I don't think you'll see on the screen, but I've kind of randomly quilted vines that are, or rows, I don't know what they are. I've randomly quilted them anyway, free hand quilted. So there's 2 of those. Let me get the other thing, hang on. I'll pause you a second. And like magic, here I am. This is the other thing. It's a cake of Yarn Art Flowers Merino yarn, and it is, where's the thing? There we are. 25% merino wool, 75% acrylic. It's 225 gram cake, and there is 590 meters on there. So there's plenty to make a shawl. Yeah, I don't know if you can, it's not quite as bright as it's coming up there. But it goes from the cream down to a brown, and it's got one of these easy start tabs on it. I love those. So that's your prizes. Don't think there's anything else to tell you about that. I think I've remembered to tell you everything, so we'll move on. I must remember in future episodes to say, if you want to see the prize, I'm sorry, I'm flicking my hair about because it's still wet. Now Poppy's decided she wants to go, and the door is shut. You can open it, Pops. It's only push 2. We'll see. She'll start yelling at me in a minute, I'm willing to bet. Let's see how far we can get before the yelling starts. Okay, that's all the prizes. Told you when it's finished, told you how to enter. Gonna have to let the cat out. Back in a second. And I'm back. And I've opened the blind right up in the hope that that might improve the light, but I don't think it has. Yes, I think I was telling you my hair is wet. I should tell you what I'm wearing really first of all, shouldn't I? I should have started with that. I'm all discombobulated now. This is a shawl that I knit last year. It's the Sugar Plum shawl by Mina Phillip, I think. I will put a link down below. I knit it in a fade to grey mini set from Craft House Magic, and it is probably the shawl that I use the most because it's very light. Well, I anyway. And now there's somebody at the door. Why? Why? Made a coffee while I was down there because frankly, oh Lord, what is she doing? I'm going to have to show you. Look at this cat. That's what she's left us for, to wander about on the roof. Oh God. Honestly. I don't know why the roof is slippery. It's not usually. And she usually charges about, it's not as high as it looks. It's only over like a kitchen extension. And I suppose because the ground is quite sloped, it's maybe 5 feet high at the end that she's on. And what she generally does is jump down onto the water butt and then onto the floor. And that's what she's doing now. But for some reason, apparently the roof is a bit slippery today. Right. Shall we get back to what we were doing? think I'd just finished telling you about my scarf. I hope I'd finished telling you. Oh gosh, now I'm hitting the radiator with the chair. It's not the 13th today. I'm sure it's only the 12th. To be honest, the 13th has always been my lucky number. Right. Shall we continue on and hopefully not have any more distractions? Oh dear, I'm quite warm now as well. It's quite warm today. I think if you were in the wind, it's probably cold, but I am warm. And I've cut my fringe again, and I've gone a bit too short again. Let's do that. That doesn't look quite so bad. Peter's going to tell me off again. Right. Knitting. That's what I'm here for. I remember now. I've got a finished object for you. Don't get too excited. Oh gosh. It's a pair of socks. Which I think that colour's pretty much okay. It's my own vanilla sock pattern. But what I did this time, I started knitting it and I tried it on because I had, you know how sometimes you just get like a suspicion. I'm going to push this door too because it's white and it might reflect the light back a bit better. No, doesn't make a difference. Looked like it was going to be a bit tight, and it was, which is odd because I always knit, always. 99.9% of the time I knit socks on a 2.25 needle. But I was doing these on a 9-inch, and I'm wondering if that had an effect on my tension because it was too tight at 60 stitches, which is what I normally use for a vanilla sock for myself. So pulled it back, cast it back on a 2.5 needle. So I kept 60 stitches, but I went up to a 2.5, still a 9-inch, and they fit fine now. I put on an Afterthought heel, which I always do if there's a stripy yarn, because I don't like to disrupt it, even if I put it on in the same colour, you know, in the same yarn. Can't tell you what the yarn for the main body of the sock is because it was a gift from my friend Nancy and it didn't have a label and she didn't remember what it was either, but it's looking quite neon-y there. It's not that bright. I'll hold it back here. Yeah, that's more of an idea of the colours. The toes and heels, I can tell you, are my favourite West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply in amethyst, which is a lovely purple. So yeah, a finished object at last. Sorry, I'm just figuring out which way to go. I've got lots to tell you, and normally I try and organise it in order, and I haven't done that today. Now someone's ringing me. Hang on, I can send a message. There we go. Sorry if I looked a bit... Today is not a good day, really, is it, for recording a podcast? This is probably the most chaotic podcast there's been for quite some time. I don't know whether to apologise or... because I know some of you quite enjoy that. That was my son ringing me. I hope he hasn't had another disaster. Right. Bear with me a second. Apologies. A text followed the phone call. I had to deal with it. So, back to knitting. I swear, if anything else interrupts, I'm just going to give up. Having cast off a pair of socks, I've been able to cast on a pair of socks. And I have cast on these. Ooh. This pattern was a gift from a viewer who I only know as Chicky Magoo, and I'm pretty sure that's not what she was christened. But still, I have begun. I'm using West Yorkshire Spinners in Licorice, which is black, just black. And this stunning colourway, it's Sunset King Cole Zigzag 4-ply, suitable for socks just as well, because that's what I'm doing with it. It just glows. Gorgeous colour. And this is what I have so far. The pattern, as you might have noticed, has got crossbones underneath the skulls. I like skulls. I do not like skull and crossbones, because that's pirates, not proper skulls. So I just have the skulls. It's my first ever pair of colourwork socks. I have tried them before and not been successful. However, I think, having done a lot of colourwork in the last year, these have got a bit of stretch to them. And I used my tricks. You do start off, as I've just said, my sock stitch count for a vanilla sock for myself is 60 stitches. The pattern tells you to cast on a various number of stitches for various sizes, and then you reduce down to your normal stitch count. So that's what I did. I won't say because it's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give anything away that I shouldn't. Yeah, so that's what I did. And the other thing I did was, when I was doing the colour work, I turned the sock inside the needle. I'm doing it on a 9-inch, as you can see, so that I was working the colour work. The strands were on the outside, whereas normally they'd be on the inside. And it just gives you a tiny bit of extra yarn on each stitch that just gives you a little bit more play. So you can see there's quite a bit of spring in them. So I'm hoping they're going to fit nicely. The disadvantage of doing them on a 9-inch needle is that I can't try them on. I could if I put them on a bit of thread or a longer needle. But yeah, I can't get my foot through the 9-inch needle. So I am extremely pleased with these. So they'd better fit. Let me see if I can get them closer. You see? I don't think you can really see the graduation. Oh, words. The graduation in the yarn. No matter what I do with it. Maybe if I bring it in really close. No. But you can see that it changes colour, and I expect when I've got more of it knit, you'll be able to see the colour change a bit better. It's very pretty. Very pleased with those. Thank you yet again, Chicky Magoo. Thank you again for the pattern. I knit on that yesterday, and I was only going to do a little bit, and I ended up doing all of that and not what I was supposed to be doing. Oh well, never mind, it'll all get done in the end. Right, done my finished objects to my new cast on. I shouldn't be casting anything else on, but I've got something a bit special. As you know, Alex and Danny from my Yarny Corner are some of my favourite people in the world. And when Alex said she was starting up a Patreon, I jumped on that pretty damn quick. And at the level that I'm a Patreon, the Patreon level I'm on, I don't know. I'm not even going to try today, because you've seen how the rest of this has gone. I get a mini skein each month, and this is the first one, and it's very hysterically named Not for Alex. And there was a full skein of this in the shop which has now gone. But I wanted to do something special with my Patreon skeins, and I've also got some other mini skeins that have come with sock sets, and I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I want to make a blanket. I'm going to use my Patreon skeins and any mini skeins from Alex or from Amanda at Little Lycac. And it's going to be kind of my friend's blanket. So, as in my friends, not Friends, the 90s TV series. And I think I can also perhaps, now she's back, I'm going to have to move my coffee. I don't know if you can get back up there. What were you doing on the roof? What was all that about, dancing around? Come on. You can get up there, come on. People are waiting, come on. There. Quickly. She's gone again. I feel like today I could have done it with a tot of something in this coffee. Yes. So I was thinking I could use leftovers. She's back. You, madam, are being a pain in the butt. Come on. I could use leftovers from things that I've knit. Skeins that have come from my friends who have dyed yarn. I'm hoping that made sense. I've completely lost any kind of idea of what I was talking about. I almost feel like I should stop and start all over again, but I don't think I can face it because it's just going to happen all over again. I'm going to have another sip of my coffee. Mind that it's hot. I've also had some other yarn arrive this week. Part of my birthday present, I nearly said Christmas present then. And I've just noticed that the camera's a little bit, but I'm not even going to try. Part of my birthday present from Dave was some yarn. And he's bought me this mini set, which I feel you're not getting the full glorious Technicolor. I've been looking at patterns. That's where I was going with that blanket thing. Oh, never mind. You'll see when I get sorted. I've been looking at patterns and wondering what to do with it. And I think I might do a litmus cowl. I don't know what colour to put it with though. I'd originally thought black, but looking at these, I don't know if it's really coming out. I think that's more of a brown than a black. In fact, it is brown, not black. So now I'm not sure. I thought the black would really make them pop, but my other option was going to be a dark grey. I think I might end up being brown, you know, because there's brown in every single one of them. So, could be brown. I should tell you who it's from really, shouldn't I? It's from Crochet 15 on Etsy. It's very, very pretty. Never had anything from this particular lady before. But it's so pretty. So I'm really looking forward to casting that on, but I am trying so hard not to cast anything else on because there's the Christmas gift knitting that I'm involved in, and of course there's the Stephen West, which we'll talk about in a bit. And then, as if that wasn't enough, I received another gift yesterday, and I can't reach. Oh, I've got this propped up here. This, you don't know what this is, do you? It's a diary that I use as kind of a podcast notebook, so I put all my notes in it, and then when I come to edit I've got everything and I know what I need to do. And I'm in such a today that I've got it propped up so that I don't forget anything, which is why I keep looking a bit vague and staring beneath you, because I'm saying, what have I got to do now? Yes, I had another gift yesterday. It came from the very sweet Judy of Witch Piece Crafts in Australia, and she has a YouTube channel even. She's got one of those things, which I will try and remember and link below. And she sent me, amongst other things, this little witch progress keeper, a Bendigo Mills, Woolen Mills canvas bag. Oddly enough, the sweater I'm knitting for Ewan is a Bendigo Woolen Mills pattern, so that's quite nice. And the pièce de résistance, this lovely thing. Now, as you know, I am currently obsessed with orange. I don't know how long it's going to last. My colour obsessions do come and go, and this is very much an autumnal obsession. But this could not have arrived at a more perfect time. It's just gorgeous corally pink, fading into orange. Let's put it back here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I've got a couple of ideas. I should tell you what it is really, shouldn't I? It's Bendigo Woolen Mills multicoloured sock yarn. There's 100 grams of it, and it is Rose Gold is the name of the colourway, and it's 70% wool, 30% nylon, and it is just so pretty. I'm almost tempted just to keep it to look at. I don't think I'm going to make socks with it. That's the only thing, because it is too pretty to be hidden away on my feet. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. It could end up as a cowl. I'm going to have an awful lot of cowls for this winter. Could end up as a hat. That's not too loud, is it? That would go very nicely with my shocking pink raincoat. It might well end up as a muscle bra. Remains to be seen. I can't be casting anything on probably until the end of November, so I've got plenty of time to decide what I'm going to do with it. Right, the MKAL. I told you I'd chosen my colours, and I had. I was all set to go. I was absolutely certain the colours I was going to use. I showed them to you. And then that evening I was on Zoom, and I'm going to say my friend Sally said, I don't like that variegated one. I don't think that's going to work. You need a green. Well, that set me off, didn't it? Like I need any encouragement to get set off on a, oh no, I should have changed. I should have had this colour and I should have had that colour. And in all fairness, I had been thinking, I'm not sure about this. It did say in the kind of the instructions not to use a variegated, and I was like, oh. So I got out every green yarn that I possess, every one, for her to have a look at over Zoom. So I mean, it's difficult because you don't get a very good colour thing, and it was by electric light. And anyway, she chose a green, and I did like the green, and I did like it better than the variegated one. So the following day was the Thursday, and that was the day that the pattern came out. And it came out, I suppose, about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning here. Did I cast it straight on? Why not, Mandy? Well, I'll tell you why not, shall I? Because that evil Sally had set me off on a, oh, I don't know if this is the right colour. Oh, I should maybe try this colour. And I was off again. I was off again, right back where I had been in the, I don't know what colour to use it. Fortunately, my other friend Nancy of the Sock Yarn, Nancy, who is also Kitty Scrapper on YouTube, has an art degree. I'm very pleased about that because Nancy said, I thought I'd got what I was going to use. It's going to be the purple. Sorry, I'm rustling the book around. It's going to be the purple I showed you, the orange I showed you, and now a green. But I still wasn't happy. And Nancy and her art degree said to me, she hasn't known me for a very long time, but she's known me long enough to get the measure of me, I think, because she said at some point you're going to have to stripe the orange and the green together and you're not going to like that. And she was absolutely right. I wouldn't have liked that. So, would you like to see what my colours are now? This is a much happier place for me to be. I have the original purple, which is dark plum. I think it's dark plum. Cascade Heritage Dark Plum 5632. And I have West Yorkshire Spinners Sour Apple. These are my two, my main colour and my first contrast colour. And then as my pop, I'm using this, which is from Little, no it's not, where is it from? Yes it is, Little Mouse House. Lost the plot entirely today, I'm so sorry. And it's White Mice. And basically it's an undyed yarn. So I can't go wrong with that, can I? So these are my colours. Definitely and for certain, because I have already started knitting with them. At 5:30 last Thursday, when the clue had been out for several hours, I was still winding yarn and had yet to cast on. It's most unlike me. Next time I decide I'm going to do an MKAL, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to wait and see what Martin from Knit 365 has chosen as his colours, because every year I like his colours better than my own. And so I'm going to wait and see what he's chosen, and I'm going to go with the colours that I want to knit rather than, oh no, I won't do those because I've already done one in those colours, and end up with colours that I faff about with for 2 whole weeks and end up being late casting on. Right, would you like to see what I've done so far? I haven't finished Clue 1. Clue 2 comes out tomorrow. There is little hope of me being finished before the new Clue comes out. It's caused a little bit of difficulty for quite a few of us in the group. Experienced knitters though we were, and we discovered yesterday what was causing the difficulty was that some of us, and I might be one of those people, I wouldn't like to say, some of us hadn't read the pattern properly. But that's all corrected, and now we're back on track. However, I'm only about halfway through Clue 1, and Clue 2 drops tomorrow. I'm well behind. Last year, it came out on a Friday morning, and either by Saturday evening or Sunday evening I had finished that week's Clue. That's not been the case this year, clearly. Right, I'm going to show it to you. If you don't want to see it, I suggest closing your eyes and I will tell you when it's gone. I don't think there's anybody who wants to knit it who hasn't seen it somewhere by now, because it's been all over YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. But just in case you are one of those people, I'm going to show this, so close your eyes and I'll tell you when you can open them. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Here it comes. Something just fell on the floor. This is as far as I've got so far. It's not hideous. I'm actually beginning to enjoy knitting it, though it's been a bit of a struggle so far. I'm going to take it down off the screen now, and it's safe for you to look. I'll have to find what fell on the floor in a minute. I think it was a... Yeah, I think it was the purple one of these. It's... Oh. Sorry. It's a stitch stopper thing, and one of them is a bit loose, so I think it's fallen off. So, yes, that's as far as I've got with that. Quite a lot of knitting still to do. Bit disappointing. I've got very itchy nose as well. This doesn't augur well, does it? Okay. So now for the bad news. Because I've got so much Christmas knitting to do, and because I'm so behind with the Stephen West, there's not going to be a podcast next Wednesday. I am sorry. But I don't want to turn up and have nothing for you. So the lives will still go ahead on Saturday, this coming Saturday and the following Saturday. I'm doing them every Saturday throughout October, 2 p.m. British summertime. I want to apologise as well for the last one. I think it was all right if you watched it while it was live, but if you've watched it since, the screen keeps flickering, going black. I don't know why. I think I recorded it. Well, I didn't record it. I streamed it through my new phone, and I'm recording this on my new phone. So I'm hoping this won't do the same thing. I don't know how to stop it. I've Googled, I've researched, I can't find how to stop it. I think it was as people's comments were scrolling up the screen. So when I do the live this coming Saturday, I'm going to use my old phone. And hopefully that will prevent it happening again. So yeah, so that's the news that I don't suppose you really wanted to hear. I've only got a couple more things to show you. I've saved them till the very, very last for a reason. You may remember that last week I showed you my birthday present from Peter and Lauren, and it was a starter kit for dyeing yarn. I have to think about the order those words should go in. So on Sunday I had a play. This is my very, very first attempt at yarn dyeing, and I am very, very pleased with it. I'm calling it Mouse's Mulch. It was the yarn that Peter and Lauren bought me, and I was a bit worried that I might lose the neps dyeing it with such dark colours, but you can still see them. They're still there. So that's good. I'm almost certain this is going to be a Musselburgh hat. I don't want to use it for socks, and I want it to be something special. So I think this is going to be a Musselburgh. I do like them. I know I call them the Marmite Hat because some people absolutely hate knitting them, and I love it. I don't know why. I won't knit my sweaters because I've got to go round and round in stocking stitch, but I'll knit. I was up to 5, possibly 7 or 8 Musselburghs between now and Christmas. But having done that one, I want you to do another one. This one I've called Bonfire Night. It was meant to be kind of Halloween-y. I was going to dye it up and I was going to use it for those skull socks, but I was a bit heavy-handed with the black dye, which I think may be a theme with me. You can't go wrong with black dye. This one I'm calling Bonfire Night because it seems more appropriate. I enjoyed doing it so much, and I'm really, really pleased with the results. I can't wait to do some more actually, but I want to try and restrain myself. I've got 4 more skeins of undyed yarn, and I've got a couple of yarns that I want to try and over dye that either came in an advent and I didn't choose the colours, or they're commercial yarns that I bought as part of a de-stash lot, and I'm not that keen on the colour, so I'm going to see if I can over dye those. I don't know if I can. I don't know if they're treated with something that prevents it, or, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, so I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this will not be my thumbnail because it's too late in the video, but look, I love them so much. They're my yarn babies. Anyway, I was encouraged by Dave and Ewan to film my first attempt at dyeing, and I'm going to add this on after the end of this video. I have speeded it up, and I didn't record the whole process, just relevant bits throughout, and only of the dyeing of this one, because I didn't know I was going to do the other one until I'd finished this one and had enjoyed it so much. So if you're interested, that will play in just a moment. And as I've got nothing else to tell you, and I just need to sit here and hug my yarn babies now, and drink my coffee. I don't know if you can hear Poppy snoring. Can you hear that? Anyway, I'm going to say bye-bye for now. I won't see you next week. I will see you Saturday, and then another Saturday, and then I will see you the following week, where I will try and have some actual knitting done. Bad Mandy. Right then. Bye guys. Enjoy the video if you watch it, and happy knitting.